Hey guys, welcome back to Amateur Reviews. I'm your host, 1HP Tom, and today, in our second episode, we are going to be reviewing Chrono Trigger, arguably one of the greatest JRPG games of all time, according to the internet. And let me tell you, if you don't agree with those forum boards and those keyboard warriors, you might as well start digging your grave, because apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion. So here we go. For me, Chrono Trigger is a 9 out of 10 game. Akira Toriyama did the character designs, chef's kiss, love Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball, all that good stuff. Fantastic, right? Yasunori Mitsuda, and there was one other guy as well who did the music. Fantastic music. Wonderful display. Every area really gave it some type of vibrance. The wind theme, clear, like one of my favorites. I've been listening to it my whole entire life because from a young age my brother was always playing it on the piano, and it's just always been like a soothing thing to listen to. The story, I would also say, is amazing. It really got me when the twists come in. It was great. Like, the story was single-handedly carried me actually wanting to finish the game. It wasn't even the fact of the battle system or even just having fun with the game. Because I will be completely honest with you, the 1-point deduction that I gave it was only for the battle system. Only for the battle system. 100%. And it's not the fact that, like, it choosing between active or the wait time was the right choice. I just feel like if you picked wait, enemies still could attack multiple times in succession, and if you picked the active, the enemies were still doing that. But then your first time through, because this game really is meant to be played multiple times over, because there are over 13 different endings from my knowledge, which is actually crazy for a game to come out in 1995 and do all the things that it did. Like, if we look at the retrospective of this game and compare it, like, and judge it based off of when it came out and what it meant for the genre, 100%, I'd say this is the greatest JRPG of all time. I'd agree, okay? But now we're in 2023. Like, I wouldn't even call myself like, oh, I just play JRPGs either, because this is definitely not just a JRPG channel, you know. So I definitely would say it's still one of the best, right? I just can't give it that 10 out of 10 because my first playthrough, I wasn't having fun with the battle system, replaying some battles over and over and over and over again. I just couldn't do it. Like, there's points where I was just like, I'm literally only doing this just to make this video. Like, but the story was what kept me in it. The story is what kept me going. And, like, I really didn't start having fun with the game until about halfway through, when you start learning magic abilities and just being able to strike lightning on all like your enemies. But this is why the game's also fantastic, right? Because the difficulty scales pretty well. Like, you still have to have a strategy going into all these boss fights, and I'm kind of glad I didn't play this as a kid, because it would take me forever to get through some of these boss fights if I didn't use a guide. Because I did, like, I'm not gonna cap here. I did use a guide, and while I was using that guide, it was talking like I was playing the game like for like the second time. And if I didn't pick up some of these useful items and max out some of these great abilities, or not max out the abilities, but like get better weapons and better accessories and such. If I didn't do any of that, then the game would have been like, this video wouldn't be coming out now, because I think I'd still be playing the game. And some of those bosses were very difficult, and just knowing how to actually attack and everything is crucial, to a point where I feel like dying to a boss a certain amount of times kind of takes you out of the game. And that's how I was feeling in this first half of the game, right? So I also didn't like the fact that you kind of had to regulate one or even two characters, because, I mean, once you get further in the game, you can have combo or what they call techs with other characters, double techs involved 2 characters, triple techs involved 3. The double and triple techs were awesome, right? And I would use Marley, Frog, and Chrono. I'm sure some people would say that's a terrible combo. You don't know what you're doing. And I'll be like, exactly. I was playing the game thinking I'm going to have 2 healers and I have Chrono as the main attacker. And for the most part, that carried me through the game. Yeah, using double cure as the double tech for Frog and Marley helped me out, because then it took the pressure off of me from having to worry about using other abilities unless I absolutely needed to. I could just rely on, hey, we're just going to heal constantly and have Chrono just do a physical or a magical attack to really drive home, like, oh yeah, we're here, right? So that was my combo for pretty much the whole game. Even in the DLC, like the DLC was different because this was stuff added to the DS version and the Steam version, which I stupidly played on the Steam version, and the Steam version has a lot of problems. It was on sale, so that's the only reason why I even got it in the first place. It was like less than $10. It was like $7.99 for Tokyo Game Show. And yeah, besides that, like I got like the cool, what it was called, like the apocalypse arm for Robo, and I put like the accessory that you can get that will increase the chance that he drops a attack of 9,999, which did successfully work a couple times, which I thought was really cool. But since it was my first time through, I didn't like the fact that I had to rely on just healing a lot of the turns, and I kind of just felt like it was dragging out boss fights to be 15-20 minutes, and it was taking me a very long time to get through the game. I think it took me around like 40 hours or so to do everything, like even like the extra stuff. But I mean that is what it is. That's more like a personal preference, but I like the fact that there's 7 different characters you can play as. I was actually surprised that there was a 7th character, depending on a decision that you make in the game, which I originally started by going to kill that character, but then I reloaded the game and said, no, I'm not gonna do that. Because I would want him on the team instead, especially because at that point in time, a certain character isn't viable in the game. But yeah, so overall, if it wasn't for like the hiccups in the battle system, which I would highly suggest Square Enix to remake this game and kind of give better indicators on when enemies are going to attack, because I think knowing that gives you a better opportunity to not die and have to waste a turn healing. So as a player, you're not getting frustrated that the enemies are attacking randomly. But like I said before, if we took this from the perspective of 1995, I would totally give it a 10 out of 10, because that's what the genre needed at the time. And I think what Sabotage Studios did with Sea of Stars was in like the right direction, and I think Chrono Trigger could kind of do a similar thing if they did a remake, because that's making it more interactive, gives it that edge, and I think more people would want to buy the game if that was the case. Will we get a Chrono Trigger remake? I don't know. I would like it. Yeah, I forgot this. There's also character side quests. They're like character quests, kind of like in Sea of Stars. Ripped this right from it too. Like Sea of Stars ripped the campfire thing, which was hilarious. They also ripped the side quest thing, and they kind of ripped the plot a little bit too. I'd say a little bit. I wouldn't say completely, but there's so many similarities with, like, this is why, like, I think Chrono Trigger did shape the genre, and that's why I understand why people say it's the greatest JRPG of all time. But I'm dying constantly. I'm literally just joking to myself saying, oh, this is the greatest JRPG of all time type of thing. But I mean, it's a great game. Like, if you have the patience, I did play it on the active style for combat for half the game, and honestly, that's the best way to play it. Having the enemies attack you mid, like, bar fill up, or The yellow bar determines when your turn is, right? So when the bar's full, that's when you can attack. I'd rather them attack me when it's filling up than get hit 4 times and then the bar fills up. Because even then, they still attack you when you're picking your moves. So there's really no difference in if you hit the active or the wait. And when I first did it, I was very confused because I didn't understand the terminology yet. But there was a lot to like in this game. The story especially. The story was really good. And the fact that there's a lot of different endings. Yeah, there's even this one ending where Chrono doesn't have any like text dialogue at all during the game. He does make facial expressions and stuff like that. But in one of the endings, they actually give him text dialogue that surprises Marley and Luca, and it even surprises the player, because who would have thought that you're going to be silent the whole game and there's an ending where you actually say something, which I thought was funny. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below if you've played Chrono Trigger and your thoughts on the game. If you haven't played Chrono Trigger and you're interested in the game based off of what you've seen in the video, I highly recommend it. And let me know if you want a Chrono Trigger remake, because I think this game deserves the treatment. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!